Benedict, son of Korlát. Benedict, son of Korlát, died after 1221, was a Hungarian distinguished nobleman who served as voivode of Transylvania twice, from 1202 to 1206 and 1208 to 1209. He was styled as Dux by royal chart as the first one who was not a relative of the royal Árpád dynasty, which indicated his high social prestige. Due to the lack of sources and the presence of multiple barons named Benedict in a period simultaneously, there are a number of difficulties in drawing and defining his career path. There are assumptions he is identical with Benedict the Antichrist and or Benedikt the Bold, who governed the Principality of Halych on behalf of the Hungarian monarch Andrew Roman II in 1209, 1210 and 1214, 1221 respectively. This governor, considering the two as one person, is also referred to as Benedikt Bor in Russian and Ukrainian historiography. This article, regardless of whether both, or either, or neither can be identified with Benedict, son of Korlát, additionally also deals with the careers of the two governors of Halych based on available data. Early career. The origin of Benedict is uncertain. His father was Korlát. This name was a Hungarian variant of Konrad. Consequently, historian Benedikt Idugely considered Benedict was of German origin and migrated to the Kingdom of Hungary from the Holy Roman Empire. According to this theory, Benedict inherited his imperial title of Dux from his father. Until the early 19th century, historians incorrectly assumed the identity of the two names Benedict and Bontbanco. Therefore, the person of Benedict, son of Korlát, was also identified with Benedikt Bor, a powerful lord and alleged mastermind behind the assassination of Queen Gertrude of Moravia in 1213. As a result, playwright and poet József Katona, who wrote the Hungarian historical tragedy Bontban in 1819, called Bonk as the son of Konrad and modeled his fictional wife Melinda on the beautiful court lady Tota. According to historian Marta Font, Benedict belonged to the gens clan Bor. In the late 19th century, Hungarian historian Antichrist also identified Benedict, son of Korlát, with Benedikt Bor, but his claim was rejected by several contemporary scholars, including Mo Wertner, Gyula Pola and János Karácsony. Benedict possessed landholdings in the northern counties of Transylvania. In addition, Queen Constance brought with her a girl called Tota, the sister of Count Simon and Count Bertram. She was exceedingly beautiful, so fair, indeed, that scarcely any woman in the world in those days was considered her like. This girl was given in marriage to Duke Benedict, son of Konrad, and her dowry was the town of Martinsdorf, a gift from King American Queen Constance. Simon of Keza, the deeds of the Hungarians. It is plausible his career started during the last regnal years of Béla Roman III of Hungary. Subsequently, he was a confidant of King Emeric. Presumably, he is identical with that Benedict who served as Spawn of Nitra County 1198, Ban of Savonia, and the Spawn of Zola County 1199-1200, according to historian Tomasz Gadar. In contrast, Attila Zoldas considered that Benedict was made Ban of Savonia in a fierce political situation during the struggle between Emeric and his younger brother Andrew. In this context, the career of this Benedict did not continue after Andrew's ascension to the Hungarian throne in 1205. Zoldas attributed this career to other Benedict who served as Palatine of Hungary from 1202 to 1204. Benedict, son of Korlát, was installed voivode of Transylvania in 1202. Gyula Pola derived Benedict's title of Dux from this dignity, as well as Tomasz Gadar. Mo Wertner considered his title was a precursor of those bands of Savonia, who were also styled as dukes during the reign of Béla Roman IV of Hungary. Around 1201 or 1202, Benedict married Tota, a lady-in-waiting of Queen Constance from Aragon. She arrived to Hungary as a member of the entourage of the Queen, who became the wife of Emeric in 1198. Upon the request of Benedict, the king gave his permission to the voivode to bestow his two settlements, Badschot in Esztergom County and Nagymartin/Martinsdorf in Sopron County, today in Burgenland, Austria, by its present-day name Mattersburg, on Tota, as a mourning gift or dower. Beside Emeric's permission, Queen Constance succeeded in getting the king to grant the land of Nagymartin an exemption from royal taxes. This is also the earliest extant prenuptial agreement of a nobleman in Hungary. Tota's elder brothers, Simon and Bertrand Bertram, followed their sister to Hungary during the reign of Andrew Roman II. The prestigious Nagy-Martoni, also known as Benchoti, and later Fratno family, which established its wealth based on Benedict's two domains in Transdanubia, descended from Simon and flourished until the first half of the 15th century. Benedict and Tota had no children. Tori Senka suggested Benedict adopted the honorary title of Dux after this marriage. Confidant of Andrew Roman II. Benedict retained his influence and the dignity of voivode even after Andrew Roman II ascended the Hungarian throne in 1205. Tamás Kádár considered Benedict's loyalty to Andrew already in 1204, months before the death of Emeric, and supported the Duke's aspirations against the pro-Emeric lords during the nominal reign of the child Ladislas Roman III. He functioned as voivode of Transylvania until 1206, when he was replaced by Smaragd. According to Slovak historian Angelika Heriková, it is possible that Benedict is identical with that namesake noble who served as a spawn of Bodrog 1205, Sopron 1206-1208, Dva 1209, then on 1214 counties. Initially, Zoldos, in contrast, distinguished the two noblemen, considering the involvement of Benedict, son of Korlát, in the conspiracy against Andrew Roman II in 1209. Later, he modified his standpoint, accepting identification regarding the posthumous 1209 career of Benedict. Benedict again served as voivode of Transylvania from 1208 to 1209. According to a subsequent royal charter of Andrew Roman II from 1223, a territory to the Kirkabi present-day Carta, Romania was formally awarded to the Cistercians by Magister Goslinus through our loyal and beloved Benedict, former voivode. Kádár expressed his doubts regarding the second term can also be linked to Benedict, son of Korlát, because of the aforementioned charter from 1223, where the king called one former voivode Benedict as his faithful partisan, which is in contrast to a statement 2 years earlier mentioning his exile. The Antichrist. Upon learning of the disorder and revolt in Galicia, King Andrew sent Benedict with an army. Benedict captured Roman as he was bathing in a bathhouse and sent him to Hungary. In Galicia there was a very wise bibliophile named Timofej from Kiev. He expressed himself allegorically about this tormentor Benedict. In our time the Antichrist will be known by 3 names, and then fled from him, for tortured boyars and citizens alike, and was addicted to lechery, defiled married women, nuns, and the wives of priests, and indeed he was the Antichrist, for his horrendous deeds bore witness thereof. Halych and Volhynian Chronicle 1210. During his reign, Andrew Roman II was intensely interested in the internal affairs of his former Principality of Halych. He launched his first campaign to recapture Halych in 1205 or 1206. Taking advantage of a conflict between Roman II Igorvich and his boyars, Andrew sent troops to Halych under the command of a certain Benedict, who captured Roman Igorvich and occupied the principality in 1208 or 1209. Benedict sent Roman as a prisoner to Hungary. Instead of appointing a new prince, Andrew made Benedict governor of Halych. Benedict tortured boyars and was addicted to lechery, according to the Galician Volhynian Chronicle. Benedict intended to incorporate the Orthodox Church of Halych into Hungary's ecclesiastical structure. The boyars offered the throne to Mstislav Mstislavich, Prince of Novgorod, if he could overthrow Benedict. Mstislav Mstislavich invaded Halych, but he could not defeat Benedict. Roman Igorvich reconciled with his brother, Vladimir Igorvich, in early 1209 or 1210. The united forces vanquished Benedict's army, expelling the Hungarians from Halych. This Benedict was frequently called as Antichrist by the Galician Volhynian Chronicle because of the oppressive nature of his rule in Halych. The chronicle labeled Benedict with this curse through the words of Timofej, a victim of his torture. In Russian chronicle tradition, Antichrist was a label which designated someone who used his political power against God and the faithful. Soviet historian I. Hensuskich argued that Benedict, in the eyes of the Rus people, was indeed the Antichrist, and the numerical value of the latter's name in its Greek pronunciation Benedictus, the number 666, was the sum of the total number of tones in his name. Several historians identified this governor with Benedict, son of Korlát. Historian Giulipolo was the first to do so, and dated the events between the years 1208 and 1209. Valent Haman accepted this consideration, and claimed that voivode Benedict governed the Principality of Halych, bearing the title of Dux. Chila Christa also shared this viewpoint in his early works. Initially, Attila's Ode was based on a work of Antal Hodinka, who did not modify the wrong chronology of the Galician Volhynian Chronicle. In his Hungarian translation claimed Benedict, son of Korlát, governed the principality between 1206 and 1208 and derived his title of dux from the status. Based on further researches, he later modified his standpoint. He argued Benedict, son of Korlát, was governor at the turn of 1210 and 1211 and questioned his role in the 1209 rebellion. Instead, he assumed his role in the 1214 rebellion against Andrew Roman II, when some barons forced the king to crown his eldest son, the child Bela. According to Ukrainian historian Vitaly Nagany, the Hungarian campaign against Halych took place at the end of 1209, and Benedict ruled the province until the return of Roman II and Vladimir Roman III Yagovich in the first half of 1210. Formally, Mikhailo Orszewski put the date of the Hungarian rule to the years 1210–1211. Marta Font argued the Hungarian rule over Halych in this regard lasted from the second half of 1210 to the first half of 1211. Font also supposed a connection between Benedict's role in Halych and his title of dux. Slovak historian Merklety, who accepted the claim that Benedict, son of Korlát, was involved in the 1209 rebellion against Andrew Roman II, considered that was soon pardoned by the king and could lead the Hungarian contingent against Roman Yagovich in the second half of 1210. He argued his title dux refers to his role as military general in the War of Halych. Other historians refused or questioned the identification, for instance Tori Senga, who also accepted the participation of Benedict, son of Korlát, in a rebellion against Andrew Roman II in 1209. He identified the Antichrist with the Benedict, who was styled as a spawn of Adfar County in 1209. The royal campaign against Halych took place in the autumn of 1210, and this Benedict served as governor until the spring of 1211, according to him. Marta Font slightly accepted Senga's theory regarding the distinction between the Antichrist and Benedict, son of Korlát. The bold Mstislav marched against Halych upon Lesko's advice. All the Galicians and Sudislav sent for Danilo, but Danilo could not come, and Benedict, Lysish, together with Sudislav, fled to Hungary. Consequently, Mstislav began to reign in Halych. Russian Volhynian Chronicle 1210. Andrew Roman II installed his second son, the minor Koloman, the ruler prince, then king of Halych or Galicia, in 1214. According to the Galician Volhynian Chronicle, a certain Benedict the Bald Lysi or Lysi was appointed to administer the principality on his behalf. According to Soviet historian Oshkivi T. Pashuto, Benedict acted as head of the Hungarian garrison in Halych. Among others, Demetrius Abbat and Phil Sherifi also belonged to the Hungarian contingent. After Mstislavich invaded Halych in 1219 with the assistance of Leszek the White, Koloman and his retinue including Benedict were forced to flee to Hungary. Oshkivi, T. Bashuto and Mikhailo Orszewski identified this governor with Benedict, son of Korlát II. Tori Senga argued this Benedict the Bald could be identical with Benedict, son of Samad, who first appears in contemporary documents in Hungary from the 1210s. The historian also referred to a charter of Vice-Palatine Gotthard from 1264, which mentions a certain Benedict the Bald from the gens Klanak. Question of their identity. Russian and Ukrainian historiography G. Oshkivi, T. Bashuto and Mikhailo Orszewski consider the two governors named Benedict the Antichrist and the Bald to be a single person, and usually refer to him Benedict or Benedikt Bor, although this epithet Bor is not included in contemporary sources. Japanese-Hungarian historian Tori Senga discovered this can be traced to an error made by 19th-century Russian historian Sergei Solovyov, who, based on the work of Johann Christian von Enschel, mistakenly identified Benedict with Palatine Bontbar Kalan, who was involved in the assassination of Queen Gertrude of Morania in 1213. Numerous Polish historians also consider the two Benedict to be the same person. Slovak historians Natasha Proshishkova and Merklety shared this opinion too. The latter also connected this person to Benedict, son of Korlát. Tori Senga also presumed identity between the two governors, but rejected the identification with Benedict, son of Korlát. He argued this hypothetical Benedict served as governor from 1210 to 1211, then a spawn of Ung County in 1214, which laid along the route to Halych, before returning to the principality as a member of the accompaniment of Prince Koloman. Shilapolo distinguished the two persons and referred to the second governor simply as Benedict the Bald. Polish historian Bronislaw W. Ladowski followed the same method, arguing voivode Benedict, son of Korlát, the first governor, died already in 1209. Tamás Kadar argued, rejecting the identification between the two persons, that the Galician Volhynian chronicle styles the second one with the epithet the Boldoni, which it may use for the purpose of distinction. Vaughn agreed with W. Ladowski's remarks. Attila Zoldos rejected the identification between the two governors too. Exile. Benedict abruptly disappeared from contemporary Hungarian sources in the first half of 1209. He was replaced as voivode by Michael Kacsik still in that year. A royal charter of Andrew Roman II from 1221 narrated that Dux Benedict was exiled and confiscated all of his estates. According to the interpretation of historian Moore Wertner, Benedict participated in a conspiracy against Andrew Roman II in 1209-1210, which was intended to the deposition of the king and replace him with one of the sons of the exiled Prince Geza from the Byzantine Empire. The conspiracy failed when the participants' envoys sent to Byzantium were captured in Spalato. Benedict was sentenced to exile and confiscation of property. According to a charter from 1221, he fled abroad. His wife, Tota, remained in Hungary despite his exile and disgrace, and continued to belong to the royal household. She faithfully served Yolande of Courtenay, the second wife of Andrew Roman II, since 1215. In the aforementioned Charter 1221, Andrew Roman II returned Benedict's confiscated lands to Tota in recognition of her services. Benedict was still alive when the diploma is issued, but never returned to Hungary. Tota died sometime between 1221 and 1230. Her wealth, Bajot and Nadja Martin, was inherited by her brother Simon, who, however, was forced to prove the legitimacy of his ownership right during a lawsuit in 1230. Primary sources. Simon of Keza, The Deeds of the Hungarians, edited and translated by Laszlo Vespremi and Frank Scher, with a study by Gina Essex, 1999. CU Press. The Hypatian Codex Roman II, the Galician Volhynian Chronicle, an annotated translation by George Perfeckin, 1973. Wilhelm Fink Verlag. LCCN 72-79463. Secondary sources. Category: Voivodes of Transylvania. Category: Medieval Transylvanian people. Category: Hungarian exiled. Category: 12th century Hungarian people. Category: 13th century Hungarian people. Category: Medieval Hungarian military leaders. Category: Dukes in the Kingdom of Hungary.